when you talk to people, a lot like I have to do in readings, doing readings for them, and they're going on about this and that problem, and it's a recurrent theme that they have a terribly negative relationship with time, almost none at all. Uh, it's not that, see, people have already embodied this idea that time is your enemy. No, you are time's enemy. Time is never your enemy. If it was, you wouldn't accomplish anything of your desires. Think about it. Time has allowed you to manifest any desire you want. It's not your enemy. It's your friend. You are the enemy of time. And the reason why you can't get all the things done that we're talking about is because you misuse time. You misuse time. All the things that you're doing are shit. Stop it. Right? Watching those idiotic shows on television, or just distracting yourself from your needs. You see, so if you examine life, it's not that you don't have enough time. You have more than enough time. It's that you spent it talking to idiots, slaving for family members who never pay you back, trusting in the advice of parents who are tyrants, literally actually tyrants, who never rewarded you for the good that you did, but always punished you for the bad that you did. You're in servitude, and so on. And so a time does come, like they call it the dark night of the soul. And it's not necessarily a religious event. It's a return to who you are. It's a very subjective experience where you're introverting a little bit more and you're doing some of this calculus that we're talking about. And along those lines comes, and if it feels very ungrounded, then you ground it by looking at the state of your physicality. Like that mentor of mine said, hey, you don't need that. And that was all he had to say. And it changed my life forever. And it changed it to bring me straight up against conflicts that lasted for more than 10 years. That nearly destroyed it didn't take much to destroy it, but whatever was left of a family unit, and that wasn't much, that went through turmoil. People were put against others. It was a frightful nightmare, right? Just because we wanted to be vegetarians after this point, and we had to bloody fight for it tooth and nail. So as I say, on the path of enlightenment, you'll know that you're on the right track when you're getting all the flack. So there is a will, but you also talked, Ronnie and I, about the fact that, and you just encapsulated it brilliantly, because where do I get the bioenergy to tap into my bioenergy?
Right. Yeah.
If I'm exhausted and wiped out, the thing looks paradoxical. Yeah, I'm all for what you guys are saying, but I lack the energy to tap into the energy. So we have no Western model. The lies that have been taught, it's like what Aaron Rousseau was saying, we're torn to shreds. There's so many things that are not said in school and college and university, so many things that the parents have not taught us. And that's what we have to then pick up the slack on our own time and teach us. Now, actually, there is a resolution to that, and that is work with the martial arts and Qigong and Tai Chi that know all about that, and slowly, incrementally, you'll awaken that Qi. But the all-important thing is that will first require you to change your relationship with time. And I don't know if it was clear before when you and I talked, the message I was making at that time to the listeners was, it's entirely in your hands. You have all the time in the world, but you must make it. You must completely go for the long haul, because a lot of what we're talking about, like you said, about checking back and, checklisting yourself and going, it also implies going for the long haul. I've done that in my career. I've not done things, just for short-term successes. I've thought in terms of very many years, to take a thing through to ferment. They say the greatest water is the freshest, but the greatest wine is the oldest. So you have to learn this fermentation process of being able to think 20, 30 years of this process that you're going to take on. Of course, our culture's demagogues they've obliterated that. You were saying earlier about the cell phone culture. It's all to concertina your life so into just fractions of seconds that you're practically robotic. Your relationship with, the process of desire even, and how to fulfill the desire, it's all being obliterated. Suicide and homicide are the only two, results, an endless ingestion of their happy pills, it's really dire. But, we're talking about things that are fundamental, all heals, by spending more time in nature, cultivating an interest in gardening or herbs or arts, martial arts, Qigong. There's multiple ways, of reinitiating yourself. But it will, I believe, mean a fundamental change in how you deal with the calendar and the clock. And just cut the fuck out of slaving for other people and try to build, bring those minutes and hours and even weeks and months to yourself again. And then also think in terms of the long haul. Do not fall for the world's hoop jumping where I get a reward. I do this, I get a reward. I do this, I get a reward. In that more instantaneous, caffeinated way. Try to think again in broad terms over the whole movement of your life. It's another thing that needs to be factored in here. But don't accept our word for it. Go and test yourselves to see how much time is wasted serving other people. These are all things to actually observe. We're not making any statements. We're asking you to observe it. I believe that you have all the time in the world for anything you want to put your mind to even become a PhD in even the most physicalized sense, take a class. Anything you're telling me you can't have time for, I never have accepted that. Right? Because that time is there, but somebody else has got their hooks in you. I don't care if it's granny or granddad or friends or mates or some other nonsense. You have the time, but you are not allowed to have the time because so much, it takes another vision to see how much the world is eating up your time. So this is a very spiritual work. It really is right from the off.